Ozempic. You've heard about it in the news, most likely. It's been absolutely everywhere for the last few years. It's a drug that was originally prescribed as a diabetes treatment. They found that it also has a pretty good side effect of suppressing appetite. And since then, it's been altered, changed a little bit, and marketed as a effective weight loss tool. Now, this is FDA approved. This is not an unsafe medicine. This is being given out and prescribed all over the world by doctors, and it's being prescribed to people that are overweight, that want to lose weight. And the idea is that you're on it for 3 to 6 months period, where you have increasingly higher doses of the injection liquid Ozempic over time, and then you taper it down, and then you're meant to then follow other weight loss methods after taking the drug. So I thought it would be interesting to take it myself and explain what my experience is. I'm not a health professional. This is not medication advice. This does come with potential side effects, which I'll explain later on in the video, but I just want to document my journey on it. So I've been on Ozempic for the last 3.5 weeks, and this video coming up is me going to the doctor's surgery in KL, a clinic, to get a second batch of Ozempic. Now, this one is the European one. I was first on for the last 3.5 weeks, the American one, which is much more expensive. So here's that video. I've run out of Ozempic. Now, my friend who supplies it to me is actually out of town at the moment. So I am going to test out the European version of Ozempic. I'm getting it from KL now. Now they're charging 1,800 ringgit for it. It's not cheap. It's about, what, 350 quid, something like that, for a month's supply. And they do it in a pen format. So it's a bit easier to inject rather than mixing it yourself and doing it like the US version that I've been on. So the US version I know I'm fine on. So the European version, let's have a look, see if that affects me in any different way. It shouldn't do if I take the same amount, 0.25 mg. So let's see. Move over here. Take you down first of all, take you through a questionnaire, ask you a few questions if you've been on Ozempic before, which obviously I have. And now they've led me into this little consultation room. Well, I would imagine they're going to give me a consultation to make sure I know what I'm doing, know what I'm taking, know the risks, know the side effects. Well, that's at least what they should do. And it should be saying the main side effect is going to be nausea, which I know, and the American version, I've not had any nausea. So the European version's from Denmark, the biggest supplier. So let's see how well I do on this. I don't think there's going to be much change, although I do notice the Europeans advertise taking 0.25, 0.5, or even in some cases 1 milligrams, which I think is a little bit too much. So I'm going to ask questions on that and take it from there. I'm not going to be able to film this part, but I will summarize it directly afterwards.
So how long have you been on Ozempic?
Is there a difference between that and the American version? And also, why do they take so much? I've seen people take that up to 1 mg.
Okay.
I'm only taking 0.25.
All right, so you've been taking the 0.25, is it?
0.25, and I went up to 0.3 on my last dose. That was 10 days ago, so now it's worn off already. Yeah, I've got multiple different syringes, and I keep the vial in the fridge, and I just inject it out to how much I want.
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So the dose that can concurrently go with that right now, because right now we are selling pen version as a fixed dose of 0.25 or 0.5 or 1.
Okay.
Okay. So for you, 0.5 this time we can try that.
Okay.
Okay. So we can try 0.5 mg, and then it has 4 doses.
Okay.
So one pen will last for
4
1
weeks.
month.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, for 4 weeks. You can feedback to us if in case you're having any sort of nausea or you're having. Currently, I'm not too sure if my staffs have already mentioned to you that we have shortage of stock.
I know, I've heard,
especially
yeah. Worldwide, it's going to go crazy.
Right? So you may have to wait up to 2 weeks.
Oh no, there's no point then. You haven't got any stock now?
Okay, so right now there's no stock, definitely.
Really?
So, yeah.
Why am I here? I was told there's stock. That's why that's the reason why I'm here.
Okay.
Because my friend's got 2 vials for me already in 5 days. That's why I'm here, because I don't want to wait.
If you're okay,
Yeah.
let me check with my suppliers.
Okay.
If they have stock, then we proceed with the payment and so on.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you're okay with only 1 pen, because I actually advise you to go with 0.5 for at least 2 months.
Yeah, I mean,
you taper
I will be on it for the next sort of probably 3 to 6 months, but I have 2 other vials from America with my friend, but he's not here right now, so that's the reason why I'm here. So I thought I'd get 1 pen now, then I'd use his 2, then I'd come back and get the rest from you guys after that runs out.
So if 1 pen, probably it's a bit easier for us to get the stock as well.
Okay.
So let me confirm on this, and the price, have they mentioned to you?
I imagine it's like 14 or 1800, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1800.
That's fine.
Okay, so let me quickly make the calls.
Cool, yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
We don't want to waste any more time.
Is there any difference between the European Ozempic and the American Ozempic?
Okay, so the thing is that we are not getting much of the American one here. It's the ones that are legally being distributed because our clinics are, we are under the ministry's monitoring and things like this, so we can't get anything which is illegal or generic. So ours are original products, and so we get it is as it is, the whole thing. We don't get the vial, so I can't compare. But so
compoundly, like chemically, they should be the same thing.
It should be the same because
just
the
different
active
brand.
ingredient is the same.
Yeah, okay.
Different brand and
it should be okay then.
Yeah.
I was just worried that the European version might be made differently and might cause other side effects. But for me, the American one's fine, so I think this one should be okay.
I had patients who just using this pen for us 5 months and lost 20 kgs.
Yeah.
It works. So that's why.
What's your thoughts on it?
For the Ozempic? Okay, so Ozempic, let's say if once you've started it, you actually will go up to 1 mg because your body will get accustomed to the doses. You will be requiring higher doses.
So it starts to wear off, quicker.
So then the highest dose is 1 mg. 2 mg is too much side effect.
Yeah.
So normally we do not go up to 2 unless you are really overweight and you can't lose weight as much. Then you go up to 2. 1, then you slowly taper it down to 0.5, then taper down to 0.25 so that there's no rebound. Okay,
got you. Okay, fair enough. So okay, cool.
That's the protocol actually. Overall.
Yeah. How long do you recommend someone take it for? 6 months?
As long as you have achieved your target weight.
Okay.
This is like a jump start for you.
Correct. I agree.
Then later on is your exercise and diet, maintain it. Let me check and I'll get back to you.
All right, thank you.
For a while, okay?
Thanks for your help. Appreciate it. I'm trying to think if I was just giving a sales pitch there or actually speaking to a medical professional. Probably one of the same here. So, they've ordered it, 1,800 ringgit paid. I've got to go and collect it later on. About 4 o'clock it looks like, so I'm going to go home. Probably about 5 minutes from my house, this place, so in the meantime I'm going to get a Subway. I don't know how much I need this now, and I've not had this feeling for a long time because for the first time in 3.5 weeks, I feel literally so hungry, my stomach hurts. It's been a while. Good God, I needed that. The thing is, you feel, I wouldn't say nauseous, but you feel very full up all the time on Ozempic. Now, it's not to the point of nausea, but I have nausea now through just being hungry. And that's worse. So, Ozempic. I'm 36, I am overweight, and I was looking for a way to quickly lose some weight, enough to motivate me more to get back into the gym, which has been quite some time. So, I weighed about 98 kilos at the start of this year, which was one of the heaviest I've ever been. My ideal weight should be about 80. So I'm about 18 kilos off of my ideal weight, which isn't ideal. So, Ozempic, I started 3.5 weeks ago. A friend of mine, Kevin, had a supply which he didn't use from America, in which he mixes it himself in a powder form into a liquid, and then you have to store the Ozempic vials in the fridge because you can't keep them warm. So he taught me how to, with the new injections, take it out. You have to take it out, the injection, and then you have to put it into the vial and then withdraw out 250 mgs, and then you got an antiseptic wipe with it that you wash the needle with, and then you antiseptic your stomach, and then you jab it in, and then you just put it in 0.25 mgs to start with. So I did that the first time at his house, and this was about 2 p.m. and I felt nothing for about 2 or 3 hours, and after about 2 or 3 hours, when it got into later in the evening, I started to feel, I wouldn't say full nausea, but I'd say you could tell you've taken something. Yeah, and I didn't eat for the rest of that night, put it that way. And I only had, I think, a piece of toast earlier on that day. So I had hardly anything and I didn't feel hungry at all. So I ended up going to bed about 10 p.m. that night, which is quite early for me, and I felt quite tired. And I slept all the way through for about 10 hours. So a tiny bit of nausea on the first day, a few hours after you took it, and a little bit of tiredness as well, and I slept very quickly. So for the full next 7 days, I experienced something I've never experienced before. I woke up about 10 o'clock in the morning and didn't feel hungry at all. Went on for the day, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, didn't feel hungry. It wasn't until about 5 or 6 o'clock came that I thought, I've got to eat something here, otherwise I'm going to collapse. But I didn't feel hungry again. This continued into day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Eating, literally forcing yourself to eat. You just never feel hungry. All the snacks in my cupboard are still there after 3 weeks. I found myself leaning towards, because I'm forcing myself to eat now, normally by about 5 or 6 o'clock at night, I found myself having to control a little bit more what does go into my body, because if I'm only eating a small amount, I want to make sure that what I'm eating isn't crap. So I limit my diet to mostly chicken, beef and protein shakes and vegetables and fruits. So with that, at least I know I'm getting in some good foods, some nutrients. I was supplementing as well with omega fish oil tablets, capsules, apple cider vinegar capsules, and a couple of multivitamins, and ashwagandha as well. I was supplementing just to make sure that I have energy in the morning, because I was worried about, well, if I don't eat, where's my energy going to come from? But it wasn't a big issue. I still had the energy. In fact, I had more, because I was losing weight, getting more energetic, and I was feeling better about myself. Every day I was going down about 1 kilo. So then the second dose came, and I took the same again, 0.25. Now the same again happened, but this time I took it before I slept, and that helped a lot. So taking it on the Sunday night before I sleep means I have no symptoms whatsoever, okay, because you're already tired, so you take it before you sleep, so the tiredness doesn't affect you, and of course the slight nausea you get after a few hours of it didn't come into play either, because I slept. So that was my way of getting over that. Now by day 6 I did start to look at it, and I found that I ate slightly more. Before that, every day I'd eat about 800 calories a day of food. Day 6 I was eating about 1,002. Now, not end of the world, I was still under eating and creating a calorie deficit, but I could sense that the second dose was a little bit less effective. So that's why they tell you to up your dose as you go. And some people have to go on up to 1 milligram, even 1.2, 1.5, or even 2. But they don't advise it. They advise, as you've seen that doctor say to me today, they advise you take it up, you increase, and then you steadily taper it off as you go down. And then you use other forms of weight loss method to continue your weight loss journey. So I'm hopefully getting my pen back today, because I've taken my third one before I went to Phuket. Then I got sick, so I've not taken it since then. So it hasn't had as much of an effect, but it still lasted me another 6 days where I didn't eat much. Now my hunger cravings are back, and I'm finding myself eating another 1,500 calories. Not more than I need. I'm still either balanced or creating a tiny calorie deficit, but this will take too long to lose weight. So I need the Ozempic back again. Hence why I've gone out today to try and pick up a local one and try the European one. So I'll let you know how that goes. But if you're thinking about going on it, it seemed to be working for me. And how I look at it in my head is, if I continued at that weight that I was at, it's an unhealthy weight. That could cause other side effects that are way worse than whatever this Ozempic can do to me. And it seems to me, short-term wise at least anyway, there's no side effects at all to me. One thing you do have to watch for is if you do overeat. Now, your body will stop you doing it anyway, but you will find you're going out for meals and not being able to finish the meal. Now, in Asia, that's very difficult to do, because if you're in a group, they'll make sure you finish the meal. So you've got to be confident enough and bold enough to either order some way smaller portions than you normally would, because you're not going to finish it, or just don't finish your plate under any circumstances, just because you feel pressured into doing it. Just eat just enough, because you're going to feel later for it. If you overeat on this drug, you will be sick. You will feel nauseous, and I've not done that yet to that extent, but I felt myself after eating like even 150 grams of steak, I felt like I couldn't put another mouthful in my mouth. So be careful on that. But otherwise, so far, so good.